This is the H3 podcast, as we know. This is a 41-minute long video, so we're gonna sit here for a little bit and hang out. But this is gonna be a good time. I think we're gonna have a good time. There's no way Crowder has a good showing here. If you don't know, if for some reason you're under a rock, you're a fan of me, you have a Twitter account, and you watch literally any other peer that I would consider a peer, even not a peer. If you watch YouTube at all, there's no way. I feel like you couldn't have missed this unless you tried. Paladin Lost, thanks so much for the 100 biddies. Time for the OnlyFans. Fresh out of Folsom, thanks for the dweeb, giving one a dweeb chant. Sam Seder was brought into the call with Steven Crowder on the H3 podcast. Ethan snuck Sam Seder into it. There's a whole bunch of things that happened here. So let's just set the stage, then we'll watch the video so you have the full context in case for some reason you've missed this. Steven Crowder is a right-wing douchebag. He's think of a phobe, he's a phobe for that. He's racist, he does a bunch of shit all the time, he's really bad. And most importantly of all his egregious acts, he blocked me on Twitter because he's a fucking pussy.
Good call.
He should unblock me on Twitter because, of course, he won't. Mitchell Drummer, thanks so much for the 11 months, dude. So Steven Crowder blocked me. But 3 years ago, I think, or maybe 2 years ago, somewhere in there, at Politicon, probably 3 years ago, Sam Seder and Steven Crowder, Sam Seder of the Majority Report, were set to debate. And then Crowder's dad didn't want that to happen. And I'm not kidding. Crowder's dad is his manager and was like, no, we can't do that. So Daddy saved him. And so he's been avoiding Sam Seder forever. I don't know how you could interact with anything Steven Crowder's ever done without seeing debate Sam Seder pop up. Very similarly to how Dave Rubin is. But so anyway, this has been going on for a while. I believe yesterday or the day before, I think it's yesterday, as of the time that we're watching this right now on the 21st of June, he was invited onto the H3 podcast because they disagreed with a political thing, and Ethan was like, sure, I'll debate you, and Crowder was like, okay, I'll debate you. Sam Seder on his show was like, he ended early so he could go on that and talk to Crowder. Crowder found out that was happening and avoided the call and canceled, having his dad /manager call the H3 podcast or text them or whatever, message them some way and say, Steven's wife is oh, I didn't know he had chance. That's pretty dope. Steven's wife is having complications or something, and so he can't show up, which is hilarious. Just hilarious. The chant function is actually going to be very good. Remind me to remind Zach about that. So anyway, Crowder bailed out of the conversation yesterday because he thought Seder was going to show up. So today he scheduled Steven Crowder scheduled his appearance on H3 for when he knew Sam Seder would be live on his own show today. So brilliantly, Sam Seder and crew pre-recorded the first half of their show today and put it live. And once Steven Crowder saw that Sam went live, he then finally, late, called into the H3 podcast, but Sam was available. So the legend, Sam Seder, shows up in this call. So that's the context you need for this. This is what's happening. It's amazing. This is 400 IQ play here. You should see Crowder's Twitter night and see what his dad did for him. I can't. Crowder blocked me on Twitter. That's what happened. All right. Is there a chant cooldown, by the way? I believe only mods can do it, right? All right. Anyway. Whoo! Well. No, there is no cooldown. Okay. Well, do it sparingly. It is cool, though. It is cool. I just could see that being a problem. As long as it's only mods, I'm fine. You guys know when to do it. You do it when you think it's funny. Appreciate it. Not that wasn't funny. No, I like that. That was a good timing, Flever. I just didn't realize how often you guys could do it, so just wanted to get out in front of it. Skooma Addict, thanks so much for the 8 months. Why not use a fake account to see his stuff? Well, I don't have that much. I don't really care that much. I think there's this thing on the internet where people like care a lot about stuff, and I do care about a lot of stuff. I care about political opinions. I care about helping people. I care about other humans. I don't care about drama. But this is fucking funny. So, Mr. Scaramanga with the Prime as well, giving yourself a taste. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think the cooldown would be a good idea, Flever, later. So, yeah, it is a cool fucking... I love the chant idea, though. It's very, very cool. So, without further ado, let's jump into this. This is the H3 podcast. It is titled Ethan Klein Debates Steven Crowder, featuring Sam Seder. You have all the context you need. This is going to be funny. I'm ready.
Welcome, everybody, to a very special episode of the H3 podcast. Today's my first ever debate against the one and only Steven Crowder, thank you very much. Thank you. Steven Crowder.
Please stand up.
Who's standing up?
Ethan, please stand up.
Ethan, oh, man.
Ethan, please stand up.
Okay. I don't watch
Who am I to
H3 anymore
disobey
at all.
our great, glorious leader?
He wore a holster.
Crowder
I just noticed
challenged
that.
me to a debate.
Good shout out.
He called me a layup. He said I was stupid. Well, Steven, I think the debate speaks for itself. Steven Crowder, for those of you that don't know, is probably one of the most hateful, bigoted people on the platform.
True.
Racist, homophobic. I mean, pretty much hits every box.
Yup.
We made this big, beautiful compilation of some
love
of his
this
greatest
set.
hits, but it's actually so heinous and offensive that YouTube age-restricted the first upload of our video.
Jesus
So
Christ.
that all is available for our members, with the whole compilation and everything, which is, adds a lot of atmosphere. But for the sake of this version, we had to cut all of that out. But he is, let's just take my word for it in that case, a giant douche.
They're all wearing holsters?
My
That's
tiff
amazing.
with Steven came when he said that our clip about COVID, when we were saying it's okay to listen to scientists, said it was his favorite clip of all time. We went back and forth.
Sprite Painter's here. I'm just here to see Jake shit on his dead dad for clout. Sprite Painter, we were just talking about you, buddy.
For people who have been following, and Steven boldly challenged me to a debate and a video titled "Your Move, Ethan."
I will invite you on the show, Ethan Klein. I will have I'll follow you on Twitter. I will have Darren, my booker, reach out where you can come on this show.
Darren's his dad, by the way, right? Just say your dad, bro. He keeps trying to hide that it's his dad. You guys will get more info about the dad. But Darren's his dad.
We usually go after political figures, authoritative sources right on this show. Usually those are the people who we have to debate. Change My Mind is not a debate, but we've had politicians, scientists, Pulitzer winners, and every now and then a layup crosses our path who we just kind of like the shtick that you're only capable of.
Now, in our original video about Crowder, we had noticed that he had reached out to me to book me on his show, and he was kind of butthurt that I ghosted him all this time. And in this video, he claims here that he never reached out to a booker and that I'm lying about it. So here's what he says about that.
I'm going to assume that you didn't blatantly lie in some of the things that you said, that you're just really lazy or incapable of your due diligence. So you said we'll get to a female booker reached out to you for the show. Hey, Gerald, have I ever had a female booker?
That's a no.
Never,
That's a
ever. Now you're either lying.
We don't work with women on this show. So that's impossible.
Or you're so lazy.
By the way, Crowder legit lives with his dad. Well, I don't think he needs to live with his dad, and that's when I wouldn't make fun of somebody. But if you choose to live with your dad and you have this personality, it's a little weird to me. That's a little weird to me. I don't know. I'm glad they have a good relationship. I'm glad it's like that. Pretty weird stuff, though. If you have to live with your dad, well, that's whatever. That's a different thing. Or if they have to live with you, rather, that's a different thing as well. Taking care of your dad and whatever. That's noble shit. I like that. If you just like want to live with your dad. I think that's weird stuff. I don't know.
Because I don't want to bully you, and then you go and
Maybe it's my daddy issues coming up. Maybe he's a cool guy. I don't
try and get us moved.
I
You're
doubt it.
lazy.
I have my
You didn't
doubts.
even just verify the fact that it was complete.
Well, you know what? I took this to heart. So I said, you know what, Stephen, I am going to look into this. I found the email that was sent to me. It was very professional. And it still had her social media contacts on it. And so I followed her down on Instagram, and I said, hey, blank, did you ever do booking for Louder with Crowder? I'm just trying to verify that this email I got from you inviting me on the show is real or not. Thanks. Here's the email, by the way. Super professional. Definitely a real email, by the way. This one in particular. She immediately responded to me. She said, yes, I did booking for him years ago for a few months. I'm not quite sure whose contact.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Come on, bro.
You'd have now. I know his dad does his booking for him, though. Let me know if you need it to try to find his contact. Interesting that she knows that detail. That makes me think that is very real. And that he's lying about inviting me on his show. How odd. Well, yeah, and while we're talking about lying, Stephen, why don't you tell him that you never filed a lawsuit?
Oof. Oof.
Tell us if you filed that lawsuit against YouTube, Stephen. Come on, be
Woof.
honest with your viewers.
Okay, look, hey, I know that in the past Ethan has had some less than savorable moments, but it seems like at least in the recent past, he's been pretty good. This is good shit right now. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot.
And you know, Steven says he doesn't want to bully me, but here he goes on to say this, and I am feeling very insecure now that Steven has taken a shot at me.
Wait, the Kleenex.
Let me just say, first of all, you have.
Hold on a second.
We were making fun of the fact that Steven had Kleenex on his table, which is pretty funny, let's be honest. He's sitting there with gun holsters and tissue. I mean, what is he, crying every second? So listen to this.
Out of here.
That's due to allergies, okay? So I had a bronchial thing, which is community guidelines in immutable condition. It's genetic.
Oh, poor Steven with his allergies. Don't put the tissue on your desk. It's funny. All right? Don't get so twisted up. Look how twisted he gets about me laughing about him crying all the time.
Yeah, I don't know, Holly. He seems to have come around on that on that kind of stuff in the recent past, but I don't know. Sometimes he makes edgy jokes, which is why I don't watch him really. But
It's a box of tissue on his desk.
But I guess there's a ceasefire here, so we can talk about any genetic conditions like
Sure.
the lack of chin, lack of beard, 120-pound man wearing the Cinderella bandana on his head.
That one I didn't get. What's the 120-pound man? Cinderella?
I couldn't really
If
follow.
he's talking about me, I am not 120 pounds. Trust me, dude. We don't have it. Right. Well, anyway.
And to compensate with a beard that he
I don't
uses
know what
just for
I don't know what that means.
men, or the
That's my
eyebrow phrase
favorite.
like E.T. in the cornfield. It's so stupid, bro.
Doesn't Ethan have like an actual thing that makes him? I don't know if it's Tourette's or something. I don't know what happens, but he has like face twitches, right? Isn't that normal? Is it Tourette's? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, not a great look. That's fine. All right. He got. This is one of those things. Okay, this is what happens with right wingers, right? They're like, oh, you guys just fucking in your feelings and stuff, and then a bunch of us lefties are over here like actually dealing with our issues and like trying to go. And sure, there's some people on every political part of the spectrum, any part of the political spectrum rather, that don't have their shit together and fly off the handle. Sure, I don't believe Ethan was doing that, but like. When you actually hit on something with a right winger, and this happens all the time, they get super insecure about stuff. You'll be like, oh, you have Kleenex on there, and that's kind of funny. We think that's funny, and they'll be like, and like they'll start taking shots. It's like this is the internet. That's banter. We think it's funny, and this is the way that Ethan and a lot of us on the internet, basically, except for right wingers, deal with shit like this. Where it's like, yeah, man, I am like Ethan's like, yeah, I mean, I grow a beard because I think it makes my face look better. I'm not a skinny dude, whatever, man. Like, what are you gonna do to Ethan? Are you gonna hurt his feelings? When you see Steven Crowder over here actually get mad, like and Ben Shapiro does the same thing. All these right wingers do this. They're genuinely insecure, which is fine. All of us have insecurities. And it's okay to admit that, and it's okay to work on them, and it's okay to talk about them. But Instead, right-wingers have to, because of just how they are in general, they have to do this thing where they're like, I'm not bothered. I'm not fucking bothered, bro. Are you bothered? I'm not bothered, okay? I'm not bothered at all. By the way, I'm going to think of every possibly hurtful thing I can say to you because I need to get my dig in. Nah, that's not the way. It doesn't make you feel, it doesn't make it feel like you are not only capable of like witty banter, which is not the case here. That's not it. This is not it. It also feels like it genuinely bothered you that he made fun of the Kleenex. Like, just say, oh, I just have sniffles sometimes. I don't know. It's where it's at. It's where it's going to stay. I need him. I need him in arm's reach. That's it. That's all you would have to do. And Ethan would be like, all right, fair enough. Like, we all blow our noses from time to time. It's so weird to be insecure about that. Everything right-wingers say is projection. I mean, I don't know about everything, but yeah, a lot of it.
Point is,
I always think it's like hilarious when people actually go to the debase themselves to making fun of my Tourette's. You know, it's like, okay, dude. I really got you hard with the tissue thing, bro. Just don't put the tissue on. I can't hide my Tourette's.
You fired the first volley by making fun of his allergies. So.
Your allergies, dude.
Which you didn't actually
has
do.
A disability.
Yeah, we didn't realize he had a disability like that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, bro.
Ableist much?
I had all that coming. Yeah. I'm deeply offended, though, at the bullying portrayed, and I take absolute cross with that. You know, and Dan had this one moment that actually went a little bit viral in the political community that Stephen notably ignored during our tit for tat. I'll play it for you here. And this is where I'm leading to.
A lot of people, but just because I feel like there's a decent chance Steven Crowder will see this, and this will be the only time that I get to say this. Debate Sam Seder, dude. Stop being such a pussy.
Neuro, thanks so much for 2 months.
I know that your dad doesn't want you to. And
Bunny Loaf, thanks for following.
You know, but that was a long time ago. That was you're 3 years older now.
This is great.
It's time. It's time to debate Sam.
This is great.
So,
I'm loving everything. I'm loving everything.
And
right
notably, he doesn't include this.
Lamborghini with 8 months.
But not the debate Sam Seder.
Weird he didn't cover that part. He went into a lot of detail on everything else.
Oh, yeah. Oh, exhaustive detail. Huh. Now, who is Sam Seder? Sam Seder is the host of a political left-leaning show called The Majority Report. Has 1 million subs. He's a big channel. Crowder famously backed out of a scheduled debate with Sam at Politicon, earning him the name Cold Feet Crowder at the behest of his dad. Sam secretly recorded the phone call with the organizer of the event, who exposed Crowder. Here's the call.
Yeah, that's a real shame.
I think
Crowder.
You're bigger. Yeah, I don't know what his team is doing around him, and that's
I love that headshot.
Just for me to speculate at this point. I don't know.
He has a team. He has a whole team, and he won't do it. He could bring the team.
I believe it's his father, but I can't confirm or deny that.
By the way, everyone seems to be confirming that it's his dad doing all this shit behind the scenes somehow. So people
Not
speculate
a good look,
that actually.
Bro. Not a good look to have your dad doing that kind of shit, man.
He actually backed out of the debate because Sam is actually, you know, an informed, good debater, and they were afraid that, you know, Crowder would look like an idiot. And so he backed out at the last minute at the behest of his father. The thing is, he's happy to challenge me, somebody that has no political knowledge, very little. I don't spend my day talking and thinking about politics, nor am I a debater, nor am I, let's be honest, intelligent. So let's be honest. So with all that being said, we figured let's get someone who is familiar with the topics, who does spend their time thinking about politics, and who is, you know, unlike me, smart. So we've got a little surprise for Steven Crowder. So let's all enjoy the debate.
I'm really glad to have my next guest on the show, and I've always said this. I always respect people who enter into the arena. And, you know, we've had a lot of debates on this show, which is different from like a Change My Mind where we sit down and have conversations. But my old Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach always said, if you come a switch, we go switch. You go spicy, we're going to do a little spicy. So we always try.
What? I don't really know what that means. I come from a sportsy background. I didn't do BJJ. But I did have a couple. I had a friend. His name was TJ, but it wasn't an acronym. It was TEA space JAY as a name, which I thought was interesting. And he was into capoeira, which I believe is a facet of that or similar, I guess. But I've never heard these things. That's it. That's all I know in that space. That's it. Dance fighting. It was right. Okay. Switch or spicy? I guess. I don't know. Don't know what that means.
Trying to keep it as respectful as possible. And I really do appreciate the guy making the time because a lot of people has a huge YouTube channel, several YouTube channels, one of the OGs. A lot of people watch him.
Messy Jaden, thanks for the 15 months.
You know him. Some of you like him. Some of you don't. Same can be said for me. Ethan Klein from H3H3. Ethan, thanks, man, for making the time.
You're very welcome. And I just want to say, I know you called me. You said that I would be a layup.
I think I used something like that.
And I think you're right because I don't think I'm a very good debater. I think you know that. So I didn't want to make it too easy for you.
Oh, okay.
So I've prepared.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what we were going to talk about is the initial quote that happened.
Funny.
I think he's looking off there. The initial quote that kind of was turned into.
So Steven is coming in here with a lot of confidence up front. I love it. But you can hear there's an excitement in his voice, in Crowder's voice, that sometimes happens to me when I speak at large weddings for a friend or something, when I go, oh boy, this crowd's big and I don't want to fuck it up. It's their big day and I want to make sure I say good things, good funny things. This happened at my brother's wedding. And then I just came out and I crushed that shit. Steven will not be crushing this shit. But he has a little bit of that excitement, little heartbeat in his throat right now that you can hear it. A minor guy, thanks for the 18 months. And first time chatter, thanks for hanging out. Look at his hands. Yeah, he's this is, oof.
A little bit of a meme, which wasn't intentional, and was you saying you don't even have to think about it regarding the CDC. And I disagree with that. I think people should think about it. I believe, and we talked about this through playful ribbing and an aggregation of medical authorities and scientific voices to make an informed and rational decision. So where do you think that I'm wrong on that?
Steven, do you know that the Spartans are like practice man love with children?
Tina, thanks so much for the 24 months.
Oh, geez. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. What did I tell you? He was going to do anything he could to avoid. Oh, there he is. Oh no, Sam Seder. What a fucking nightmare. You, I had no idea this was going to happen.
Well, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Last unknown, thanks for 3 months, dude.
I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy. This is where we are. Yeah, I told Dave. Remember I told you?
Who's this fucking guy?
Told you. I said I guarantee you he's going to do anything he can to avoid the debate.
Well, I just think he believes that he should debate you.
No, he doesn't. He just takes advantage of women with mental health issues. Ethan Klein doesn't stand up and do his own fighting.
I gotta say,
it's just hilarious. Let's bring on FM.
You would do anything to avoid talking to me. I think the point that you made at the beginning of
Joe
this
Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan and Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson and Noam Chomsky and Sam Harris. Everyone's been avoiding.
And not just attempting to get your audience by jumping in.
Well, I debated with Charlie Kirk. Steven, I mean, it's about.
Oh my God, he's so nervous. He does not want him. He does not want Sam to be talking. Three's fault next to the 19 months, dude. Oh my goodness.
About issues. Let's
It's about
talk
issues,
about those
yeah.
issues.
That's what you're doing
some
here.
Valid
Yeah.
points.
You're
that
so
I think we
clever.
should
I had no
discuss.
idea that you were taking your show off early last time, coming in today with your pig pen peanuts
I
eyes.
wish everything.
You take those off with a velveteen buttons.
We must have been
Black
very
eyes,
worried about
aren't
this,
they? Like
Stephen. I don't know why.
No
it would
one's
be
worried
Oh, come
about
on,
it.
so
Sam.
Snaky. Thanks for the
Didn't
tier
wanna
one.
do it.
First
Let's have
time.
a debate.
Sam, come
If
on.
no one's
I'll tell you
worried,
what. I
let's
have a
do
general. I have a general.
This is a
rule.
great
I
opportunity.
don't start a debate based with people on a lie. And how about you get
sabotaging?
How about you get
Steven,
to
show
30th
yourself,
of the
you
audience
coward.
share?
Steven, show yourself.
30th
Don't show
of the
your
audience.
co-host.
Ethan, you should show
Steven,
yourself.
Ethan, how can you respect yourself as a man, brother?
Steven,
strongly
you are
that you're
such
not
a
willing to
coward. Stop
debate.
showing your little
I
leprechaun
thought you would
co-host who
welcome-
comes out dressed like your
Ethan, come on,
sidekick.
Ethan, why do you have to bring on a
Show
guy
us
who's a 30th of the
This is a
viewers?
fucking shit
I've
show.
ever-
We have 30 minutes of this still. This is a shit show. I love this.
So you have a
Just
guy
show
with
Steven.
less viewers to come on to debate him because you can't.
Well, obviously, if I'm a
Apparently he had to think
obviously
about it,
if I'm a layup
Yeah,
and
you
not
had
a
to think
debater.
about it.
Well, look,
Yeah,
you're the
I
one
mean,
who called. You're the one who got
Steven,
started
the one that got angry about
Show
it.
Steven. Don't be
Hold on
such a
second. All
coward.
right, hold on. Let me hear what Pigpen has to say here really quick.
Pigpen. It's like watching a modern gladiatorial battle.
Fair enough.
Show
But
Steven.
Ethan, look, I don't. Hold on a second, Ethan. This is because initially I
Thank
came
you.
on here to talk with Ethan. Ethan, come on, man. Look, the same reason that I haven't ever had a conversation with Sam Cedar is the same reason that Joe Rogan, Sam Harris, Brett
James
Weinstein,
Dean, thanks for
Dave
the
Rubin,
$3.
Ben Shapiro don't own anything. It's based on a lie, Ethan. Just
What's
like
the
you
lie?
claiming my Ethan.
What's the
You
lie?
claiming my
What's the
booker
lie,
reached
Steven?
out to you, Ethan, when you know
Steven,
that's
what's the
not true.
lie?
There's no
What's
one
the
ducking
lie?
you,
Why
Sam.
are you
I've
so
never
afraid?
Sam,
Yeah, listen, I think you're a smart
I can
guy.
call out Mike
I don't
Tyson.
understand why
It doesn't mean that I'm
you are
ducking him.
so worried about this.
Why do you
I
feel that?
honestly
Why do you
don't.
feel that anyone, Sam? Why do you feel that anyone owes you airtime when you have a 40th of the audience and you've been doing the
I
show
don't think anybody
for 10
owes me
times as longer?
airtime. I think
A 40th of the audience? Does Crowder have 40 million subscribers? What? I don't think he has 40 million. Did he mean 40%?
that Ethan has just given it to me. I didn't
Right.
ask him for it. And
Right.
so
No, you've been begging
the
for
real
it for a long
question
time
is,
with everyone
Steven,
bigger than
why
yourself.
Are you so
he found
worried
a
about
can't build an
engaging
Aaron Wonder,
audience.
thanks to
And so what
17.
happens
Why
is he
are you
uploads
so
15
worried about-
times more,
Do you think
has
your
less than a
audience
50th of the
says-
audience.
Well, that's
Do
why
you
he wants to
think that your
debate you, is so he
audience-
can build his.
Sam,
Do you
Sam,
think
come on.
your audience
Cool Sage, I'm glad your boss had to see his boy Steven Crowder gets fucked up. Had a bad day as me. Thanks, Stop the Voices.
cares that I only have 1 million subscribers and you have what, 6 or 7 million
I think.
subscribers?
Let me answer. Can I
don't
answer your
think
question?
they
Can I
do.
answer your question? Can I answer your question? Do you want me to answer your question? My audience would say Sam who? Just like Joe Rogan's audience and Ben
Well, now
Shapiro's
they
and
all
Dave
know
Rubin.
who I am.
Now they
You
all know
just
who you
introduced
are
me.
because you had to
Your
shoehorn
audience
yourself into
watches
another coward
yourself
show.
into
College
another
students
show.
every day that you do that.
Right? I was gonna say the same thing. I'm so glad he talks to nobodies all the time. What? What are you talking about? The Dax, thanks for the 9 months. Lucretia with the Prime.
Change my
Hold on a
mind.
second. Hold on
They
a second.
don't know who those college
This is another
students
lie.
are.
This is another lie.
What possible
Let
difference
me
would it be?
clarify, Sam. Let me clarify, Sam. To change my mind, everyone knows on the show, right?
Yes.
We've had
How did
professors
you know
on the.
I ended
This is
my
what-
show
okay, he's not
early
gonna talk.
last week, Stephen? If your audience
Because
doesn't
you're
know
Amazing.
How
and
did you
half
know
of your
that?
staff
Do
doesn't
you
like
Zala's with a tier 3 for 7 months.
watch my
you.
show?
Because I'm a diehard fan.
Yes, it's because he's a diehard
Well,
fan.
if you're a
I've heard
diehard
of you,
fan,
but I just
why-
met you.
why not
Congratulations,
have me
Sam Cedar's fan.
and Stephen
I'm just
have
a
a
huge
conversation?
fan.
I will
like-
talk
right now,
about
every
the
time I
issues
try and
that
talk,
you
you're
want to talk
interrupting,
about,
Sam.
Stephen.
Yeah, and
Right now,
Anytime
I'm trying to talk with you. You're
You
interrupting, Sam.
bombarded the show.
Okay,
You
go ahead.
bombarded my show under a false pretense. You claimed
Bombarded?
just like you claimed that I ducked a debate with you under a false pretense. Have I ever?
That is what the Politicon people told me. I
Oh, is
played
that what they
the
told you?
audio
Well,
of
so
it.
you're just lazy
Yeah.
with your research?
And if
No,
big tech
what
is
more
You continue
research
with the
do I
lie.
need? They
You
said
need to
you were
research to say,
booked.
did Steven ever accept?
They said you were
Let me
booked.
explain to you. Let me explain
They
to you.
said
Let me
you were
explain to you.
booked,
Hey,
and that you
whoa,
dropped
Sam,
out and you literally had
Sam,
cold
sweetheart.
feet.
Sam, fake stand-up comic who we can't find any footage about online. Let
I'm
me
not
finish.
a stand-up comic.
Oh, you're not? Okay, that makes sense because everything that I've seen is incredibly unfunny and unentertaining,
Well,
which may
I'm
explain
not
the
a
audience.
stand-up
Ironic,
comic.
irony.
What is happening? He's just so fucking mad, dude. He's so mad. He does not want to get into a debate with Sam Cedar at all. TOMG, thanks for the 12 months.
Alert, Steven.
Comedian.
How much have you watched of my stuff,
The
Stephen, that
irony
you
of
think
Sam,
that your
can I
audience
answer your
wouldn't
question?
appreciate our discussing things?
Samuel, can I answer your question?
Yes.
So you have gone on, you've done the same thing with other comments. Everyone has a bigger audience than you because you said, I want to speak with Steven Crowder. You believe that at some point there was
is he
some
talking in
acceptance?
third person?
When have I ever done a Politicon? Ever? As a matter of fact, in the last decade, I haven't done a single political conference. I hosted CPAC for 4 years and stopped because they suck. They don't pay, and they're full of losers.
What about Gavin
and you've been
McInnes's
clamoring
show?
for it, and
Gavin
it's a lie.
told me that you dropped out of doing
How
his
can you
show
say
because
that
This is just hearsay and gossip.
But how can
I
he
have
say
I've never met more of a woman.
career when he wants
Well,
to keep debating?
I don't know.
Talk
It's
about any
bizarre.
of this.
All right,
Let's talk
okay.
about the issue.
So,
the
Ethan, do you want to have a
CDC.
conversation, Ethan?
Let's talk
about the
big
vaccine
tech.
because
Ethan, do you want
Ethan, do you want to have a conversation? Devious Chilster with the 24 months. Thanks, dude.
to have a
Absolutely, I
conversation?
do.
You're going to hide.
You felt
Absolutely,
so
I do.
strongly about
Big tech.
So why are you hiding behind San Cedar?
Oh no, me and Sam are aligned. I'm not
with
hiding.
him.
He just
Well, you're just a
he knows the
liar.
issue.
So you're a
Ethan,
liar. Because remember we said, hold on a second.
I
I mean, it sort of
yeah.
feels like
It's
you guys are the ones who are
ridiculous.
hiding.
Really?
Ethan's
Hiding?
being
No, this is
completely
actually
open about it.
Who snuck in on you?
Who's the guy who
Ethan's
never
being
appears
completely
on
open
stage,
about it.
never does a live show,
But it's a
never
comic.
never even allows a shadow of comedy to be perceived on his program? It's just hiding. Everything we do is out in the open. H3.
Steven, you're wearing a
Yeah, we
holster.
agreed.
Steven, you're wearing a holster. It's incredible, bro. It's fucking incredible. Tasha said, Crowder is so cringy, he's activating my secondhand anxiety.
Hold on a second. Yeah? So? I want to normalize responsible gun ownership. Is that your debate? No wonder you had to bring in a hack for you.
Well, no, you're talking about comedy.
Well,
I mean,
You're talking about...
that's not very funny.
You have a holster, bro.
Also, your
You have a
sponsor is
holster.
Spartans.
He takes advantage of mentally ill women for a
main
show.
sponsor is about gay boy
All right,
love.
okay.
All of it.
All right, Sam. You got it. You got it. I hope you have
No,
a,
come
I
on.
hope you have a
Steven,
wonderful
if-
highlight reel.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me just make one point.
Hope you enjoy Politicon.
Hold on,
Ethan.
let
We'll
me make
release the
one
private
point, Steven.
messages.
Take it easy.
Steven,
All right,
don't
thanks,
bail.
guys.
You
I
don't wanna
appreciate
have
it.
Don't bail, you coward.
Hey, Sam, one thing before I go. One thing before I
If
go.
it's
Can you
about
take off your
issues,
glasses?
Steven,
Hold
One
on.
thing before I go.
I
Can you
just
take
wanna
off your
see-
glasses?
we just wanna see if
I
there's
just want to
buttons.
see if you take them.
Can you take off your glasses? It's just nothing. Crowder to a chef. How dare you call yourself a comedian? Your cooking is
off
not.
if you have the Velveteen Rabbit buttons. That's the only thing I'm curious
What-
about. It's the only interesting part about it.
Steven,
Or if there's a soul.
Let's
Just take off
debate.
the
He
take off the
seems
glasses.
confused. He's just confused.
Let's debate, Steven.
Don't hide behind the
Don't
glasses.
be a
Sam.
coward.
Don't say
I
let's
will-
debate, Ethan. You've
I
lost
will-
that.
Coward.
You debate. All right.
Debate
This
the
is sad.
issues. What
This
does
is
it matter who
frustrating.
you
Shut
debate,
up.
coward?
All right, good. You guys are good. Thank you.
Coward.
Won't even take off the glasses.
I was right.
All right, yeah,
We
you
knew
can
you'd
give me
run
the X.
away.
This
You
is-
run away twice. Cold feet again.
Come on, Steven.
Amazing.
Wow. Wow. Dude, I can't believe he admit to following.
He admitted that he followed the show last week.
We got him.
Admitted that he watched the show last week.
We got
Crazy.
him. Dude, we played him so
That's
hard because
crazy.
he literally was following. He saw that you went live, dude. We fucking got him.
Oh my God, we fucking nailed him.
Holy shit. So do you want to respond to here, you want to throw him up, Dan? Do you want to respond to anything he said now that he's not talking over you?
Well, I mean, look, he's obviously lying about the idea that he wouldn't want to do a debate with me because his audience wouldn't know. Here's a guy who literally tracked my show last week because he was afraid that this would happen. Here's a guy who claims to have watched. I don't know. I don't know what it is he said he watched, but he's not worried about audience not knowing who he's debating because he sits down with random college kids
all the time
and sandbags them on their campus. I have the recording from Politicon when they called and he backed out. I have emails from Gavin McInnes, whose show I would have never gone on, except he offered up a debate with Crowder, and Crowder left. And so, you know, I think Steven is afraid of debating somebody. You know, look, I do a political show every day. It's dry,
I don't.
it's boring,
It's obvious.
and you don't.
Yeah, exactly. And
he's
so if he wants
afraid.
to debate the issues, what's the difference between me and anybody in the world?
I mean, only that he is convinced that for whatever reason, he's nervous about debating me. I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case.
But
I debated Charlie Kirk at Politicon. It was fine. I thought Kirk did a fairly good job. I think Steven's not a total idiot, but I also do think he's a bit of a liar.
I mean,
total idiot. Do you think Crowder is currently taking comfort in the idea that his dad might beat up Sam's dad? I don't think so.
Yeah, we even went through the effort of tracking down this claim that he never booked us for the show. I mean, here's the email, super professional. So I was like, I reached out to the girl. She said, I said, did you send me this email? She said, yes, I did. Years ago, for a few months, I worked for Steven Crowder booking. I'm not quite sure who you'd contact now. I know his dad does the booking for him. Let me
That's
know
still so
if you
fucking
need
funny, dude.
me to try to find you. How would she know that if she didn't work for them?
You know, what's funny is that when the Politicon, when the woman from Politicon called me, she also mentioned that his dad, she said his team, I think Steven got cold feet, his team pulled him out. And I said, wait, he's got a team? And he said, well, his dad.
Right.
And,
right.
you know, I mean,
Amazing. That's so fucking good,
I
man.
called my dad to see if he could call Steven's dad. To see if Steven would debate me, like on some type of play date. But my father reminded me that I was a grown man and I should probably handle it myself.
Oh, you know, that's funny. My dad is actually Zooming with his dad later today to debate this very topics. You know what else he lied about? Filing this lawsuit. There's no lawsuit he ever filed, at least that I can find in the public record, which lawsuits are public record. So he is a liar as far, the evidence does suggest.
Yeah, and the thing is that, you know, they go on and on about getting demonetized from YouTube or whatever it is, and they never, for them, it's really just a way of generating clicks. There are
the same with
policies.
The lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, there are policies that you could pursue, but he can't ever address those because his ideology is such that there's no way
This is so good.
For him to address it as a
Amazing.
policy matter. So because as a policy matter, he'd have to agree that there needs to be government regulation of these things, and he doesn't believe in government regulation. And so he just goes out there and makes it as if it's like conservatives are somehow being oppressed.
True.
As
Well,
opposed
it's actually not true at all. Everybody who talks about these issues,
Supply side
if they're
Jesus,
taking
thanks for following.
a conservative or liberal stance on them, they're all getting demonetized equally. The fact that Steven wants to go out there and do a mock execution of George Floyd and then act bewildered when his channel gets when his videos get demonetized it's quite surprising
we watched on
to
this
me
channel
that
as
he
well.
would even be feigned surprised at that.
Yeah, we get, I don't know what our percentage of demonetization is for our videos. It happens. We just don't whine about it like they do and use it to generate clicks. It's because we're willing to talk about topics that we know. I mean, we don't do shit like what Crowder does that are just out and out racist. And
Steven's dad just booked Dunn Jr. tomorrow to try and hide this. How's that going to be hiding anything? To try to make more news than this caused? I don't know about that.
And homophobic, but
No one likes
we
Dunn Jr.
will talk about protests. We will talk about political situations that advertisers don't want to be a part of.
Absolutely,
and that's just part of doing the job responsibly. Is understanding you're not going to be able to suck a dollar out of every single bit of content if you're actually trying to make a point about issues.
And one other thing he keeps
doesn't
bringing up, apparently the reason he's ducked you, Sam, is because you only have 1 million subscribers.
Only 1 million.
I know it.
And I'd actually challenge somebody to go through all of the interviews he's done and find any with under 1 million, because that would be quite ironic.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that Steven has that metric, particularly since half of his, all of his Change My Minds are with college students who may not even have a YouTube channel.
Right. You have more subs than them, surely.
At least a couple more than them.
Yeah. Well, I feel we got him pretty good here, Sam.
Well, I would have liked to had an exchange of ideas with Steven, so I'm a little bit disappointed. And I know how much you were looking forward to that too. But I guess Steven is just more interested in personalities than he is actually debating issues.
Yeah.
It's sort of sad.
It is
it's sort of sad.
It is sad because he claims he's a political thinker, but he didn't think much in this case.
I got to wonder if there are members of his audience right now who are probably thinking like, hey, wait a second, maybe Steven is actually afraid of having some type of exchange. I mean, he spent, how many times did he say in the preface of going on air with you, a lot of times people won't show up for debates with me. And
here we are, baby.
He only wants to debate, people who have a perspective on the left that have a YouTube channel that's over 1 million. Well, maybe you've got to expand your horizons a little bit.
Maybe you should be looking to debate people who are actually proficient in debating. And
Steven's dad. Book me. I'll buy a corn holster.
And the topics itself. Instead of, he referred to me as a layup, and I would agree with him in that I'm not politically savvy and I'm not a debater. So what actual value is there in debating me for him, other than for him to look smart and get an easy point?
Exactly. But let me say this, that the original points that you were making about when it came to like the masks, I've interviewed, I don't know, half a dozen different epidemiologists, maybe a little bit more over the past year on the show, some of the top epidemiologists in the country. And the fact of the matter is that there was confusion, and really not the science was not settled on the way that COVID was transferred. They didn't realize that it could be aerosolized. But the bottom line is that wearing masks, once they understood this, where the downside to wearing masks is zero.
Well, yeah, according to Steven, scientists are not ever allowed to change their mind. See, scientists need to be right the first time and only the first time. They're not allowed to change their stance with data and research. And if they do, then they're frauds for everything. I mean, I even saw Steven talking about, Fauci was wrong about AIDS back in, the early 80s. And that's proof.
Right.
Fauci was wrong sometime previously in his career. So therefore, he is a fraud forever.
Someone found where Crowder appeared on YouTube channel less than 1 million subs. So I'm not shocked.
Speaking of fraud, I noticed that Crowder put up an email, making a big deal about these emails from Fauci, and one of them he put up was from February 12th, where Fauci was saying, we don't think masks for the general public is going to be that effective or make a point.
Which is what he said publicly.
Which is what he said publicly a month later. But the fact is that the development of the science behind aerosolization of the virus was an ongoing effort. It wasn't until late April that they started to realize this is the way it's going through there. And then it's not easy to take a novel new coronavirus and assess, what are the size of the particles?
Right.
But the bottom line is, once they said do masks, it is an easy lift to wear a mask. It sucks, but it was the safest thing to do. And I'm sitting here with a study. I mean, they're really starting to come out now.
Did you guys see the flu numbers for masks, by the way? It plummeted. I tweeted out the statistic. I can't remember what it was, but it was in flu, the common flu, because everyone was wearing a mask, barely happened this year. 5K people, maybe. It was total in the country. Under 10,000. I think it was under 8,000. Nothing. Nobody. Was it less than 2,000? It's fucking crazy. I tweeted out a while ago. I forgot already. Maps and Mimics, thanks for the 4 months. Yeah. Didn't have one flu case. It's absolutely nuts. I think we should probably wear masks regularly when we're in big places now. And I think that would be a great social norm. Because we're all less sick. This is good for everything. Plus, the masks are kind of cool accessories. I kind of like it.
That the masks cut down by anywhere from 25 to 35% on the transmission. And so the idea that there are some scientists, he talks about aggregating the science. Look, he doesn't know how to aggregate. He's afraid to debate me. And a guy with 1 million subscribers on YouTube, he's not aggregating the science. There are professionals who aggregate the science.
Sam, do you think that the size of your sub count is there a correlation to your skills as a debater? That seems to be what Crowder's understanding is.
Apparently, or it's just that he is looking for any excuse as to why he doesn't want to have a conversation with somebody who actually, day in, day out, reads this stuff and talks to scientists and talks to reporters. I mean, look, you can find a lot of people who will say the Earth is flat. And if I aggregate those into all the scientists who say the Earth is in fact not flat, then you could say there's some questions. But that's not the way that science works. The fact of the matter is that like we have a basic understanding of what's going on. And the idea of you saying, listen to the scientists, particularly addressing YouTube guys.
Well,
right? Like,
yeah, when you're Steven
that's
Crowder.
a good idea.
Thank
cool, Wild
you.
Ones.
Yeah, so obviously our whole little battle came when Steven said it's his favorite clip of the year of us saying, listen, if you're like, it's okay to listen to scientists who are trying to save. It's okay. You don't need to question every single thing that comes across your desk, especially if you have no qualifications at all to assess this information. The fact that we need to be skeptical of every single thing of our government, that we don't trust our government to that extent, then our society has failed us in a way that we should just end it now.
But I think like you can be skeptical, but the fact of the matter is that what Crowder is not doing, he's not being skeptical in any type of thoughtful way. He is weaponizing doubts that happen to align with his political ideology. We saw it.
First time chatter. Welcome to the show. Nerd Tremble says Klein is a joke who had to bring someone in to fight for him. Why do you stand a coward, man? It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad stuff, dude. Good call, baby bird. Good call. Pilford Brimley, thanks for the 10 months, dude. Like, it's pretty weird to go to my stream and be mad that other people think Steven Crowder is a coward. Steven Crowder's a coward. He literally blocked me on Twitter when I, got a little questiony for him. He didn't like that shit. So, I mean, come on. If he's not gonna talk to your boy Korn, yeah, dude, sick burn on the Klein there. Oh yeah, he spelt it Kline. Very, very, very sick burn. Very good stuff. You're in my suggestions is all. But here's the thing. Nobody suggested to you that you had to have a bad opinion. Okay. No one suggested to you that you had to be a fan of a quivering coward. You chose that path, all right? And just because you followed the click hole to this place where you're going to get abused now, I don't think that's really much of an excuse. So yeah. Anyway, you have a wonderful fucking night, my guy. I don't feel like you're going to want to stick around here. I don't think you're going to have a good time. Unlike y'all fucks, why'd you ban him, dude? Sushi Mom, you gotta calm the fuck down on that kind of shit. Unlike y'all fucks, my day won't be ruined by this. My day has been improved by this. My day has been improved by this. All right, let them break the rules. Good call, baby. Let them break the rules. Crusader 37 Gamer. Yeah. Thanks for the 8 months, dude. Yeah, this is fucking hilarious. Steven Crowder's a little bitch. Everybody knew it.
With the president that he was so supportive of. I mean, it's not hard to find many clips of Trump saying this is just going to go away. It's not really serious. There's only a couple of cases. We shouldn't even test.
Right.
And Crowder.
Against the rules, I have a differing opinion. No, it's not. I just got you unbanned, Nerd Tremble. You have to break the rules to get banned. I just had a little bit of a trigger happy mod there, buddy. Your opinions are bad though. You have dumb opinions. I literally unbanned you, and you're bitching about being banned for like a second. Okay, buddy.
That's why Crowder was doing it.
Why are right-wingers so precious, dude?
If he
came in here and you're all tiny pink-cheeked boy came into my chat and tried to fire off what he thought was like a good hot take and gets a little shit on, and he gets real precious right away. All right, buddy. Okay, tell you what. Daddy's gonna pat you on the butt and send you to your room. Okay, go on, get to your room and lay down in bed. Okay, have a good night, man. A really good night. So it's almost 11, dude. It's almost 11 Eastern. It's past your bedtime, boy. You gotta go on. Get on out of here, boy. You live in your fairy tale world. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I hope you enjoyed getting emasculated by a man in a corn suit and a wig tonight. Have a good one.
He was doing a genuinely skeptical, sort of like categorization and cataloging of the science and laying it out there in a way that showed some measure of integrity. But let's be honest. I mean, people just watch this. Crowder had the opportunity to debate this with somebody who is serious about it and wanted to debate with him. I did nothing but, approach this with a respectful manner. And he was afraid to do that because he knows he's full of it.
So
and he's
much
just delivering
so.
talking points that, his NRA buddies, give him to go.
Yeah, they all, it's all part of the big grift that all these conservative media, it's like you said, it's they suck every dollar out of every controversy, and that's all that matters to him because he's got these big, beautiful leather holsters, and those things don't fill themselves, and it is worth mentioning once again that he noticed that you ended your show early last week, and
that's right.
And we specifically were like, I know he's watching because he's so afraid of Sam that we need to pre-record something, air it so that he thinks you're live.
Right now,
worked.
as we are talking,
You're
there is a live show that's
and
on.
it worked.
And he came on.
noticed.
We started the show 2 minutes early, and he did not walk on to the set until our show was live.
So true.
And
Incredible.
And you called. I gotta say, you called it last week,
Thank
and
you.
I was like, I just don't believe that he's that nervous.
Yep, he
about
was. I can't believe he admitted. What a dumbass to admit it.
And also, like, the alternative is...
I love hearing the producers in the back of podcasts when they're just cackling. I love that shit so much.
I think that Sam could show up, and I can't wait to show my audience how this moron who's been dogging me supposedly and sending people to... debate me and this and that. I'm going to put this to rest once and for all. If Steven Crowder was as much of a man as he seems to be with his, all his weightlifting and his gun and his holster, he's got a weapon, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I'm coming unarmed. Hands up. If you want to shoot, go ahead.
How much
shoot.
alpha brain do you think he takes in the morning?
He's probably juicing. And the idea that he had at least a week in advance knowledge that he couldn't come prepared to debate somebody who actually reads this stuff and spends their time doing this is almost like the saddest thing that one could say about Steven Crowder.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some other things.
Almost.
Wow. Steven.
It's really sad. I mean, I was looking forward to it
And
because
the
I really
ultimate
wanted to
irony, right, as you've pointed out, is that he's the guy who got famous for with the debate me. You can't, if you're the debate me guy, that's your claim to fame. You can't dodge people that want to debate you, Steven. You gotta own this thing that you create, this image you created. Stop being a bitch. Stop being a baby. You're like, come on, Steven. I think he lost the right to those holsters. I think he has to retire them.
Honestly, yeah, I think
I'm
maybe
calling
it's time
on retiring those holsters today.
Normalize wearing a squirt gun instead is what I would say to him. You'd have
I
to,
agree.
Maybe like a Nerf. They have to have like a Nerf weapon. Like, is he old enough to now like have a license for a handgun, or he doesn't need to anymore? Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, like, I think we need to have a meeting with his dad and
I have his
bring
email
his father.
now, so maybe we should email him. Just say, we think that
I don't know if his dad will be answering any of my emails after today.
After today, we're gonna have to ask for his badge and weapon.
We're both fathers. I can't tell you how disappointed I would be in my son if he did what Steven did.
Oh, so disappointed, son. Son.
I just
that's
my son
fucking
had
low,
his
dude.
final Pony League baseball game yesterday, and I saw more courage from some of those 8-year-olds than we witnessed from Steven Crowder today. I mean, I would say
That's
probably
fucked
like a good 3 or 4 of them were a lot
Mutant
tougher than
Squirrel likes
Crowder.
the 17
One got
months,
hit
dude.
with the ball, the other one
This is toxic masculinity, but it's good stuff. It's good. I like it. Put it in me anyway. I like drugs. Not everything's good for you all the time. This is good for me, though. This feels good.
tripped.
Yeah.
And,
That's
one of them didn't have their favorite hat, but they all played through it. They
Right.
all played through
Inspiring.
it. And sad that
Did you-
Steven.
Did you find it interesting too how he wouldn't put the camera on him for a minute? It was just on his sidekick.
Yeah, what do you think was going on? Do you think he was like going like dad?
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Quiet one. Thanks for getting one to Red Spine.
But I'm glad he finally brought it back because I was like, what is with the sidekick? Why are you throwing him under the bus?
I know it. And the sidekick had to pretend like he was a big fan of mine, and
He had to
that's
come
why
in
they've
real
been
quick, yeah.
monitoring the show. That is.
His
Wow.
sidekick wasn't even drunk yet. It is early. Usually that guy's pissed drunk by the time they do their show.
To be honest, like I have the
Prime the $5. Thanks so much. Give one to John, Alex, Ariel, Thok, and Upbeat Warning. Tasha with the 28 months as
only
well. Thank
time
you.
I think I've watched an extended run of Crowder show was when he was talking about you. I was trying to figure out like how did this start, and he was really drippily condescending for a guy who is afraid to actually test his beliefs.
True. Oops.
I mean, I'm surprised. I haven't seen him so weak since watching him get punched in the face and dropping like a house of cards
By an old
in
man, right?
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing. I don't know if you knew this. So Crowder, when he was complaining about what happened on YouTube to him, he put out a compilation video of people responding to when he got decked by a union guy in Wisconsin at the 2011 march protest against Scott Walker. And in that compilation, I was in it. And he put the video out. And then he pulled it back and cut me out of the compilation and reposted it on Twitter. Do we have that stuff?
Oh wow, he is deathly afraid of you.
It is. Somebody on Twitter saw it and sent it in. We did a video about it, but it is weird.
He is deathly afraid.
And how he pretends. That's the thing I don't get. Like, how do you spend so much time worrying about?
Is that this? This might be this. So, Crowder, you and I can talk about it. It's appointed to a man wants to be invited on this show. What? You and I can. I don't know what this means. Let's see.
I don't think I've ever seen a more perfect encapsulation of groupthink.
The CDC is like this whole governmental body. Just tell us what to do. You don't have to think about it, dude. Obviously, my point is that if you're so fucking stupid, then yeah, you should listen to the CDC, bro.
You and I can talk about it. It is appointed to a man once to be invited on the show. And if you don't, you decline, and everyone now knows that you will, but I will never address you again. I bet this guy's going to do anything he can to avoid actually debating.
I didn't want to make it too easy for you.
Oh, okay.
So I prepared.
I had no idea this was going to happen. You know,
Steven, you're wearing
that we
a holster.
agreed. Yeah? So?
That's the whole thing, huh? Okay. So anyway, I'm blocked by him, Steven Crowder. But as you can see, Sam Seder replied to that. We're just laughing. So I can't. This is that. I incognito just so I could look at it. But yeah, that's good shit. That's good shit. Oh, you love to see it. You love to fucking see it, man. Steven found out the one and only truth. To fuck around is human. To find out is divine. That's true.
Somebody that you think is not big enough to even discuss.
No. It's fine if that was a different video.
Who was he supposed to debate then? if not you?
I don't know.
Yeah, me? I'm not a political debater. I'm just some dumbass. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's trolling through to find makeup tutorial sites that have like 2 million subscribers, or I mean, anybody who doesn't
Minecrafters have a lot of subs.
Exactly.
Minecrafters.
Yeah.
There's some Minecrafters my son watches that maybe he'd like to debate on some of these issues.
Right.
Wow.
All right. Well, we got him, dude.
Yeah, that was fun. I appreciate your attempting to further the discourse, Ethan. I mean, that's the thing.
And that's all I care about. In the end of the day, I just wanted to put forward the best conversation possible to inform the most people possible. But Steven today wasn't able to do that for us.
I know. It's so sad.
It's a disappointment.
You gave him the opportunity.
And I hope his dad does have a stern talking to, like, son, this is the way to behave. This was not the proper way to behave in this situation, and gives him a good fatherly talk.
There's been times where I've said to my son, we're going to call up blankety blank's dad or mom, and you're gonna get on the phone and you're gonna apologize. And I just want to say, I'm sure I don't want to speak for you, but we'll be very gracious when Steven's dad calls and puts Steven on the phone.
When someone apologizes, you accept that.
Yeah.
You know, because you have to
I want to make that absolutely clear that
Thanks for the host.
if Steven calls to apologize, I'm going to be gracious about it.
Yeah, that's funny. You just reminded me. He kept telling me.
Amazing, dude.
He kept telling me, I respect anyone that enters the ring, and I'll make my fans known of that. I respect that you're willing to enter the ring with me. And apparently he doesn't respect that about you.
No, I guess not.
You don't have enough subscribers.
I don't have enough subscribers to earn the respect to enter the ring. When you enter the ring,
1 million
you
is
must
a lot,
do
but
so.
it's apparent. I'd like to know at what point you are capable of entering the ring. And I'll
what's
try
the
to get,
subscriber threshold?
What is
because the first time he made this argument, I only had, I think, 500,000 subscribers, and then I feel like the goalposts are like he's dragging them with him as he runs along down the field, and they're just getting further and further.
Yeah,
away.
I mean, I'll try to get more intel on that for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And maybe folks can reach out to him on Twitter and ask him politely. How far are the goalposts?
Let's find out so that we can have something to work towards.
Right.
So
exactly.
if you can ask Steven, how many subs does Sam need to be worthy of the big stage?
Because I'll stick at it just to hit that number.
Well, we can buy you subs, or we can work something out. Yeah,
we can buy you some subs.
That really occurred to me, but yes, I should have done that. I should have done that today. I should have bought a million
hold on,
subs.
Steven. Give me a minute.
All right. Well, I've got to. My show, the pre-record is going to end in about 20 minutes. The one that is there almost exclusively for Steven and his dad. I hope they're enjoying
and it worked. They watched
work.
it. Amazing that he admit that.
Oh
for a smart guy, he really shouldn't have said that.
That was probably the biggest mistake he made.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
And the second one was coming after me.
Yeah. That was probably the first mistake he made, and then there were subsidiary mistakes that followed.
All right,
yes.
Sam.
Ethan, it was a pleasure. I can't thank you enough for the opportunity. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Steven
This was great. Yeah. Apologies to Steven and his dad for.
Yeah. Me too.
Me too. Just feel. Well. All right.
All right.
Have a good day. Bye.
That was a cool fucking video. I like that shit. Anyway, so Steven Crowder is a bag of shit. He is not a very brave man. This is a thing. This is a thing that is pretty unique to right wingers. They'll do the thing where they go like, the left won't debate. All of us will say, and literally every one of us, me, Vosh, the Surfs will probably be one of the first people to respond to that. Depending on when it's tweeted. If it's in the morning, I will not be available. I'll be sleeping. It'll be a bunch of the people you expect. that are like, I'll fucking debate, I don't care. And then they always go, yes, nobody will do it. I don't know. And then when someone finally gets the opportunity, whether it's in a public setting like a TwitchCon or something, or wherever they're at, or like a panel show or whatever, they always fucking run. And do you know why? It's two major things. It could be one of them, it could be both of them, but it's usually one of these two things or combination. Number one, they're not good at debating. Normal stuff. People aren't good at debating, whatever. Hopefully, debate bros like Crowder aren't the people that do that. That's the best part when that happens. Hero Langley, thanks so much for the 21 months. And number two is it would hurt their bottom line because they would do so poorly, and they recognize that their political opinions are informed by how they make their money rather than how they feel and like their dignity or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those.